in the future, you and I have been enemies for years. Well, there have been others. Of course. There's Dawn, Zoom, DeVoe. But none of them hurt you like Savitar.
What's all this?
After last night's success, I thought a toast was in order.
Success? Is that what you called last night?
Yes. How would you describe it?
Barry Allen was supposed to remain in the meta-human wing at Iron Heights. But he's now free.
Even Team Flash has good luck sometimes.
And the bus metas? We were supposed to wait till all of them were captured, but you only got 4.
I said I would retrieve them from confinement. I never said when or where. There's something else on your mind, isn't there?
Warden Wolf's death.
He needed to die.
I just don't recall it being necessary for our plan.
The chair can wait till morning. For now, to the Enlightenment.
To the Enlightenment. I love you, Clifford.
Yes, and I you. I think I'm going out of my head. Yes, I think I'm going out of my head. 'Cause I can't explain the tears that I shed over you.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on The Flash Season 4, Episode 13, entitled True Colors. So, since Season 3, we've known the overall villain of Season 4 was going to be Clifford DeVoe, no matter who body Clifford is in. So what's interesting is Abra said to Barry Allen, "No one destroyed you like Savitar," implying that Clifford DeVoe, the Thinker, isn't going to be nowhere near as good as Savitar. And we also know that Barry Tard Savitar said to them, "You haven't got there yet. You haven't created the cerebral inhibitor." So now, after this week's episode, we can infer how it's going to go down. So let's break down True Colors. So this week's episode was partially a filler, but there were some set pieces that are going to set up some major plot points later on down the line. So Barry is still in jail. He's stuck in the metahuman wing. So it starts with Cecile and Iris going to see Barry and they're not allowed him. But the big bad Warden Wolfie tells him that Barry's got into some altercation and he's not allowed to be seen. But of course, Cecile's pal that she's got helps him and she knows that he is lying. So Barry Allen, being the clever person he is, breaks out of the metahuman jail and brings the rogues with him. But what's interesting is he was never going to let them escape, which is kind of very interesting because Wolfie tells Amulet, the blacksmith, that he was a speedster, but they never inferred which speedster, so that was kind of interesting. So they eventually break out at least to the courtyard where they get their powers back and then they're stopped pretty fast, and Wolfie kind of helps himself by saying the Flash. And then they all go at him, and then interesting enough, Hazard, who has the powers for bad luck, kind of wipes them all out. And then this is something kind of, I don't know, kind of interesting. So before this happens, Wolfie, well not Wolfie, Ralph shape shifts into Wolfie. So in the comics, Ralph can't actually do that. In the comics, the Plastic Man can do that. So I guess they're kind of mixing the Plastic Man and Elongated Man character into one, which is pretty cool. Plastic Man, Elongated Man, tries to pretend to be Wolfie, but he gets outed. And then this is how Wolfie in the real Wolfie actually discovers that they've got out. So what's interesting is Wolfie's actually powerless, and then obviously the mechanic fixes the spaceship, and then we get Brainstorm's version of the Thinker. He comes down and he looks absolutely ridiculous. And we kind of find out that his overall arching kind of part of the Enlightenment is to take everyone's power from the meta-human bus incident that the Thinker kind of set up, I guess, because we don't actually know if he did really set it up. So what's interesting is he kills them all and takes all their powers, and he takes the body of Hazard. So now the mechanic is technically married to a girl, and then they kill Wolfie, which, seeing as how big of a comic book character Wolfie is in the DC Rebirth 2016 currently, I was a bit surprised to why they killed off Wolfie. I think Flash made a big mistake. So why didn't the Thinker take Barry Allen's power at all? And it's looking quite obvious that the Thinker's wife, the mechanic, is going to be one of the people to help take down the Thinker, as he appears to be going mad. Each new power he kind of takes, or she takes, as we don't know the gender now because it kind of keeps changing, that it's making him go insane. So they get him off the jail. They get him out of jail basically because Ralph shapeshifts into the Thinker and says that he's not dead, and the Thinker's wife, the mechanic, looks pretty shocked. Now, the Flash don't really introduce new abilities unless they're going to have some like foreshadowing or some big payoff later on down the line. So Barry Allen is essentially out of jail, but he brings up a big point by saying he could have killed them all at any point, but he didn't. The weather wizard was in there, but he's only going after the meta-human bus people, which is kind of strange, very strange. So the mechanic is actually blocking the thoughts, so Becky Sharp, who's now the Thinker, I guess you could say, can't read her mind, which is kind of interesting, how she has to use the teardrop ability from her new powers to make her wife say that she loves her or loves him. So it's like they're setting it up that the mechanic obviously is intelligent. She made all the samuroids. It's so obvious who's going to make the cerebral inhibitor. So what's interesting is they actually haven't said anything about Savitar warning them about Defoe. Are they actually ever going to bring that up? The Flash has a tendency to bring things up wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure they said that Harrison Wells has gone to Earth 2, even though Jesse was on Earth 3. Yes, I know Jay Garrick's out of Speed Force, but they didn't make it clear where Jay Garrick was. So it's kind of interesting. So now the Flash is actually on a break for a couple of weeks, and when it comes back, it's called Subject 9. So the 9th metahuman ability is pretty interesting. It's going to be someone who can actually take control of you through their singing, through their music. So pretty interesting kind of ability. But they also foreshadowed that Ralph could be killed because the Thinker is going after everyone on that bus. So eventually they're going to go after Ralph. So guys, please like, subscribe and comment. Let me know, where do you think this season's going? Is this season the weakest season so far? I honestly hate saying this, but The Flash season 4 is pretty weak at the moment. I mean, there was so many ways they could have broken him out of jail, and they used that way. Although it was kind of funny, it was the weakest option they had going. Anyway guys, let me know, what is the Thinker's plan? I mean, we now know he wants to kill and take everyone's power, but why doesn't he want to take Barry Allen's power? I was expecting him to kind of take over the Flash's ability for some reason. Is the Thinker changing body because he needs to stay alive? Is his wife going to betray him? Very interesting episode, but mostly filler material. Anyway guys, please like, subscribe and comment. That would be awesome. Join Team Warstu by hitting that bell button down below, and I will catch you in the comment section, and I will catch you guys in another video very soon. Catch you later.